Hey guys, Kleen with Feuling Parts, here to talk about our 2078 bearing kit. You can find it individually packaged like this, or we also sell it through our Camshaft kits and also our cam chain tensioner kits. This kit includes a front cam bearing, which is a ball bearing from Timken, and then we have a bearing for the rear cam, which is our roller bearing that we manufacture. This roller bearing also comes with a matched race, a thrust washer, and an O-ring. Now the O-ring's purpose is to actually center up this thrust washer on the camshaft like you see here. And then the race actually presses down onto the camshaft and holds everything into place. Now you may be asking, what's the importance of this? And the whole reason for this setup is that race actually dictates the end play for the camshaft. And what happens is if you have a mismatched race with the bearing, it can create not enough end play or too much end play. And when you start dealing with too much end play, that end play can actually start creating premature tensioner pad wear or even cause some unwanted noise in the cam chest. So to go over the install and techniques used to get this all put together, we're going to use a couple different tools. Right here you'll see that we have a bearing separator, also known to some guys as a clamshell. And then we also have our press tool here, which is from Jim's, and this is designed to easily install these pieces and components onto the camshaft as well as into the cam plate. Alright guys, so here we are, we got a brand new camshaft. This is one of our early model 99 to 06 twin cam camshafts, obviously a rear cam. You can see that it already comes with a race and a thrust washer installed. Again, even though there's a new race and thrust washer installed, we're going to go ahead and replace it so that we know that we have a match set and that everything's going to be set up correctly. So here we're going to go through the steps on how to remove it. First thing we're going to do is take our clamshell here and we're going to install it so that we basically capture underneath this thrust washer so that we have a good base to press up against. And what I've done is I've actually grabbed one of the press tools from our cam installation tool, and I'm going to use this as my guide, so to speak. Always make sure everything's nice and centered in here, and then we're just going to go ahead and press this out. So there you can see the old thrust washer and race is off. Now we're going to go over how to install the new one. So now that we got the race and thrust washer off of here, we're ready to set up our new one. As mentioned previously, we have an O-ring here. Again, the sole purpose of this O-ring is just to center up the thrust washer. So once that's on, we're going to go ahead and install our thrust washer down onto the cam here. And then before we put this race on, what we actually want to do is take some high pressure lube or press lube and actually just put a little bit on here. We don't ever like to press anything on dry. This is just going to help ease the installation here. The race then goes on, and then we're going to press this into place, putting the cam in this orientation here. I like to use a couple fingers to hold the thrust washer in place. And then we're going to set up our pilot and go ahead and press everything into place. Alright, so there it is, completed with the new thrust washer and race in place. Now we're ready to put on the chain and install this into the cam plate. Now just to show you guys what the final step would be after you install this race onto your camshaft is, first off we're going to put a chain on it, as you see like I've done here. And I always like to pinch this just to verify that we have our timing marks properly aligned, which this one is. So from this point, we'd go ahead and put some press lube onto our front camshaft just like we did previously with the rear one when we did the race and thrust washer. And then we're actually going to flip this over and then we're going to set this up to press into the cam plate. Now because of the slip fit on the rear camshaft, you're actually going to need to hold this in place and get these coming down evenly. Going in crooked can cause the chain to damage the cams, so always make sure that as you press this in, everything's staying nice and straight.